I was the cutest kid ever. Look at me, look at me. Aww. Look at my little sunglasses.
Welcome to our vlog.
Hello y'all, welcome back. I've been doing a lot of self-reflection lately, and I've been thinking a lot about the core memories of my childhood. Low-key, my life a movie. I don't know what was going on with me as a kid, or why I attracted not even good or bad karma, just weird karma. But I did. So today I thought I'd share some of those stories with y'all. Just a heads up, some of these stories are a little bit gross. They involve sickness, throwing up. They are stories from when I was a kid, and kids are gross. No offense, kids. Sorry. Sorry to kids. You're not all gross, probably. Let's get into it. I'm gonna call this one the Bratz movie incident. So when I was a kid, I had this friend who we're gonna call Kirsten. Kirsten invites me and a girl that we're gonna call Sarah to a sleepover at the Great Wolf Lodge. If you're not familiar with the Great Wolf Lodge, it is paradise for kids. There's a water park, there's a magi quest where you get a little wand. You point this little wand all over the hotel and stuff lights up. There's a squirrel in one of the trees, you point your wand at the squirrel and the squirrel starts swinging on the swing. It's also really expensive. So this was a very special birthday that my friend Kirsten was gonna have. How exciting, how awesome. This would turn out to be one of the worst birthdays I've ever been to. No offense to the people that were there. Kirsten and Sally would not stop fighting the entire time. This is when I was in first grade, mind you, and they were beefing hard. When I was a kid, I was not a very confrontational person. So for the 2 days that we were at the Great Wolf Lodge, it was just me being like,
what's going on? What's happening? What are they fighting about this time?
No memory of what the beef was even about. Like, it was not that deep. It was not that deep. After a long day of water parking, going to the spa, magi quest, fighting, for some reason, like a lot of fighting, everyone decides that it's time to go to bed. I need to give you the layout of the room that we're staying in, okay? This is like one of the special suites. Kirsten's mom had gone all out. I don't know if she was loaded or something, but we were living in luxury, okay? So the entire room is connected, but Kirsten's mom has this larger room with a queen-size bed in it, and then the three of us have this cabin room. Kirsten and Sally are on the bunk beds, and I'm over on this little side bed. Kirsten, at the time, really loved Bratz movies, and decided that she wanted to watch a Bratz movie to go to sleep. I was so stressed by the end of this little birthday getaway because of all the fighting that I could not sleep. What's new? The Bratz movie is probably like no more than an hour long. I watch every minute of it. Kirsten and Sally go to sleep. This movie was on a CD. I didn't see how it got into the CD player, so I didn't exactly know how the TV worked. Once the movie ends, it goes to the menu screen. And on the menu screen is this little animation of the two Bratz dolls, and then the theme song of the movie playing on a 20-second loop over and over and over again. I have 7-year-old insomnia at this point, okay? And I am going through it. So I realized that it's looping and I'm like,
oh, I should go turn that off. Where's the remote?
I'm looking all around, and I remember that Kirsten had the remote in her bed and is now asleep and is probably sleeping on top of the remote. So the logical thing to do here would be to wake her up and say,
hey, can I have the remote so that I can turn the TV off?
I was so anxious. I was like,
I cannot wake this girl up or she is going to chew me out like she has been to Sally. I have to stay on this girl's good side. I'm so afraid of her.
At this point, I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna try to go to sleep. I don't know if you've ever tried to sleep with a Bratz movie menu screen playing over and over and over again at top volume. It's impossible, even for a 7-year-old. So I go over to the TV. I try everything I can to turn it off. I try the little buttons on it. I try to find where the CD is. I don't even know how the CD was connected to the TV, but I just cannot figure out how to make it work. So you know what I did? I went into Kirsten's mom's room and I slept on the floor because I just could not handle it. Even then, you could hear the screen going off over and over and over again. I think I slept for maybe about 2 hours. Her mom wakes up and is like,
Zoe, why are you on the floor?
and I'm like,
Hi, Kirsten's mom. Sorry it's 3 a.m., but I didn't know how to turn the TV off and I couldn't sleep.
in 2 minutes she goes and turns the TV off and everything's fine. So really, I should have just asked anyone for help in that situation, but I didn't. Remember how comforting and joyful the holidays were as a kid? Maybe there'd be a little snow outside, you'd make some cookies, decorate the tree. That wasn't always the case for me because one year during Christmas, I got lice. So one time I was having a play date. Why are we not doing play dates anymore? Like, why can my mom not call your mom and say,
Hey, our kids want to play together.
me being the theater kid that I am, I wanted to play dress up with everyone. So I had my dress up in, we all played dress up. It was a fun time. I had a cowboy hat that one of my friends was wearing. Let's call this friend Sullivan. Sullivan's wearing the cowboy hat for a long time, okay? At one point, I wear the cowboy hat. I think you can see where this is going. So a couple days after the play date, Sullivan's mom calls my mom and says,
Hey, Sullivan has lice.
my mom's like,
Oh, I hope Zoe doesn't have lice.
my mom checks my hair, crawling with lice. Nasty little white bugs are crawling all over my head. They're biting my head, they're itching me. So Christmas plans are canceled. Zoe has lice. We gotta get rid of the lice. So my entire 2-week vacation was just my mom getting the lice out of my hair and trying to suffocate the lice and combing them out and trying to spray rosemary on them until they died. Thank you, Mom, for your dedication to making sure that my lice died. This story is like pretty standard, I feel like. I feel like a lot of kids get lice. What I don't like about the story is that when I tell it to people, when I tell it to my friends, they say that it makes sense that I had lice as a kid. What is that supposed to mean? What is that supposed to mean? What about my personality says that I had lice as a kid? Please, if you're one of my friends who said that it makes sense that I have lice as a kid, please tell me in the comments below why you think I had lice as a kid. I'd really like to know what about me gives lice energy, okay? So please let me know. Thank you. Sticking on the topic of hair, one time I got a little knockoff Zuzu pet in a school fundraiser. If you don't know what a Zuzu pet is, it's a little wind-up hamster that you turn this switch on, can run around on these little wheels, you can get tunnels for it. I wanted a school fundraiser, a knockoff Zuzu pet. Good for me. And I carried that little hamster around with me everywhere. I loved my little hamster so much that I brought it to Houston one Christmas. Every year at Christmas, me and my family would go to this thing called the Nutcracker Market. It's a huge market that's like an all-day thing. You get there super early, you leave pretty late. It's an event. So I have my little Zuzu pet. We had to park really far away from the Nutcracker Market, but there were golf carts driving people over to the entrance. So we hopped onto a golf cart and drive on over to the Nutcracker Market from the parking lot. I have the attention span of a goldfish, so while we're on the golf cart, I start playing with my Zuzu pet. Usually when I was playing with this, I'd have like a surface to play with my Zuzu pet on. Instead, I just had myself and my Mimi next to me to play on. I don't want to put my Zuzu pet on my Mimi, so I just start doing it on myself. I'm doing it on my arms, my legs, my shoulders, over my head, down my...
Wait, oh my gosh, it is not coming out of my hair. I'm pulling on it, nothing's happening.
So I turn to my Mimi and I'm like,
Mimi, my hamster's stuck in my hair.
she is horrified because I was dressed up nicely. We were going to this nice Nutcracker Market. We were doing the family tradition and I had a hamster stuck in my hair. Mimi, the woman she is, somehow gets it unstuck with the help from my cousin Abby. Safe to say, I couldn't play with my knockoff Zuzu pet anymore because it had a chunk of my hair stuck in the wheels. Let's call this next saga of events the New York trip saga. When I was 5 years old, my grandparents decided that they were going to take me and my cousin on a trip to New York and a little bit to Washington, D.C. This was a wild trip to New York, to say the least. We went to the Empire State Building, and there was this elevator that you could go up to see the top of it. If you've been to New York or you've seen any movie about New York, you know how crowded it is. So everybody comes into the elevator, and I end up at the very front of the elevator. Remember, I'm 5. It's important to note right now that I am wearing a scarf that is about as long as me on both sides. So sometimes the scarf would move around and it would start dragging on the floor. Usually I notice that,
Oh, the scarf's on the ground.
and I would, just throw it over my shoulder, like you do. The elevator starts to close, and my scarf gets closed inside of the elevator. The elevator starts to go up, and immediately my scarf gets sucked into the elevator. I'm honestly really just glad that the scarf didn't get stuck in the gears and break the elevator and make us fall like 32 floors. That would have been pretty bad. I do wonder if the scarf is still at the bottom of the elevator shaft though. I now have a slight fear of elevator gaps and standing near elevator doors when they close. So thanks for that, New York.
You're welcome.
We ended our New York trip in a very explosive way, let's say that. On our last night in DC, we went to a movie with some of our family members. We went to Horton Hears a Who specifically. Before we went to the movie though, my grandparents decided that they were gonna buy me a giant red slushie. It was delicious. Okay, I don't know if you've ever had a red icy in the year 2008. Amazing. Nothing tops it, except maybe a cola slushie from 7-Eleven. Those are also really good. I digress. I had the slushie during the movie. I'm feeling good. I'm watching Horton Hears a Who. I'm kind of gagged by the drama. We go to the hotel to get some sleep before our trip back home. I had never had a red slushie before this day, and I haven't had another one since. Me and my cousin Abby were sleeping in the same bed at this point. Just to get a feel of the dynamic between me and my cousin, she's older than me, I'm younger, we're both only children. She's like an older sister to me. I woke up, and immediately, I do not feel well. No more than maybe 10 seconds after waking up, I throw up all over the white hotel bed. Nasty, bright red throw up. Probably the grossest thing that I've ever experienced. It was awful. This wakes up my grandparents. It also wakes up my cousin, who sees me laying down covered in red liquid and thinks that I've died. My poor cousin sees all of this red liquid on the white bed and thinks that I am like bleeding out. So she starts freaking out. I get rushed over to the bathroom by my Mimi. I'm still throwing up. Once the shock had worn off my cousin, she realized what had actually happened. She was rightfully upset. Honestly, if she had done this to me, I don't think I would have ever forgiven her. And she has never let me live it down. After that, I could not have Red 40 for most of my childhood because pretty much every time I did, I threw up. I'm fine now. Now I got that Red 40 in my bloodstream, you know? Should I do a Red 40 mukbang? Red 40 mukbang? Would y'all watch? I'd watch that. The cleaning services at the hotel come in, they change out the sheets for us, and we all go back to sleep before our travel day. You'd hope that that would be the end of the barf saga, right? We go to the airport the next day. I'm very hungry. I have an empty stomach because of all of the red icy throw up. My Mimi, my grandma, decides that she's gonna buy me some grapes. Grapes are so good. Whose stomach would hurt from grapes? The answer is mine. I ate the grapes and immediately I'm like,
Oh, I need to throw up again. We have to find a bathroom.
we go to the bathroom. There's a long line. So we're waiting in the line and I'm just trying my best. I'm just rocking back and forth like,
Don't throw up, don't throw up, don't throw up, don't throw up.
we make it to the front of the line. Thank God. And then right before one of the stalls opens up, I throw up on the ground all over the bathroom. I don't know, man. I can't justify my actions. I was 5. I'd like to apologize to all of my family members who had to deal with me throwing up all the time as a kid. I wonder how many times I've said throw up during this video. Comment down below the amount of times you think I said throw up during this video. So those are just some of the things that I would consider my core memories from my childhood. Things that really shaped me into the person who I am today. So hey, if you're a 5-year-old who throws up a lot, look at what you have to look forward to. Thank you for watching the video. I appreciate it. Subscribe to me. I forgot to mention, thank you for 2,000 subscribers. Hello? But that's really cool. I didn't think anyone would ever really want to watch my videos, so I appreciate that so many people have subscribed and are supporting me. It's really awesome, and y'all leave really funny comments on all my stuff, so it's been a lot of fun, and I appreciate it a lot. If you like this video, like, comment, follow me on social media and stuff. Just do all the things, Other life update. I got this shirt. Look at him. Look at him and look at my shirt. He was forced to eat concrete when he was 1. Subscribe to see more Crunchwrap because he's just always invading my videos. I can't seem to get him to stop. Thank you for watching. Goodbye, everyone.